evening, everybody. This is TITBITs, session number 15. And today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. That is, whether you should use a dot, full stop mark, after DR, that is doctor, after MR, that is Mr., after ST, that is saint, etc. It is said that an American doctor, if he does not put this dot after DR, then he is not a good doctor. And if an English doctor does so, then again he is not a good doctor. Then we'll come to this topic in due course of time. Before that, we have to discuss some related issues like abbreviation and acronym. These are two terms. We'll take up abbreviation later. Now we discuss acronym first. What is an acronym? Acronym is a shortened form of many words, or even one word if that word has more than one component. For example, D.D.T. D.D.T means dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. It's a single word, but it has three distinct components. Therefore, it comes within the definition of acronym. In place of dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane, we have written D.D.T this way or this way. And when it is a matter of many words, then again acronym is applicable. For example, O.U.P. There are three words, Oxford University Press, but O.U.P. represent that entire definition, Oxford University Press. It may be a big name of an organization, establishment, it may be a chemical name, it may be an NGO, whatever. If you want to shorten more than one word expressing some idea or some definition, then acronym is applicable. Another example, U.N.D.P, United Nations Development Program. So you are trying to shrink four words together. And this U.N.D.P representing United Nations Development Program, this is what is acronym. And you know hundreds of acronyms. There is a common tendency nowadays not to use dot mark. Old pattern is D dot, D dot, T dot, then O.U.P, O dot, U dot, P dot. When I was a school student, I learned this pattern, D.D.T means D dot, D dot, D dot. But nowadays, D.D.T without dots. I think since 80s onwards, with the growth of computer, the sense of space has become very acute. Hence, these dots are dropped. Maybe this is one reason, or maybe other reasons are there, I don't know. But nowadays, you can safely write D.D.T without dots and O.U.P, U.N.D.P, etc. without dots. These are popular acronyms. But there is another tendency that we try to treat and pronounce these acronyms like words, although they are not words. They are representing many words or a longer definition, but in spite of that, there is a tendency to use them as words, and sometimes they are pronounced as words. For example, OPEC. What happens? OPEC, oil producing and exporting countries. But we never say OPEC, we always say OPEC. We do not pronounce this E as a letter. We pronounce E as a vowel sound. This is a tendency. And this happens with many other acronyms like UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Then we have UNICEF. Then we have NASA, WHO, WHO, that is World Health Organization, etc. and etc. So there is a tendency to try to pronounce them as words and treat them as words. And there are many acronyms that cannot be shortened while pronouncing them. Like IPL, Indian Premier League. We always write IPL, we pronounce IPL. Then BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. Then RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Then BSF, Border Security Force, etc., etc. Thousands of them are there. So this is all about acronyms. In a nutshell, acronym is a shortened form of many words defining something. Now we come to abbreviation. Abbreviation also shorten things, but it is always a single word, such as Feb. Dot for February, Wed. Dot for Wednesday. Now this dot is necessary only at the initial stage. Once this type of Feb, Wed becomes very popular, then automatically these dots will drop. They won't stay any longer. This has happened everywhere. Now, sometimes we of course use dot in academic world, especially in formal writing or say in universities, colleges, such as ST College. S is a shortened form of Samuel, T is a shortened form of Taylor, and then college. It is recommended that when you are writing something formal, something very academic, better use this stop or dots. Then we have Matthew Arnold, M. Arnold. M stands for Matthew, and dot is necessary only in the academic world. If you don't use them, nobody is going to bother about that. But it is recommended. But there are many other words also, For example, Ave, A-V-E-Ave. Ave means avenue. Central Avenue, for example. After some time, it will become a very popular expression and that dot will automatically drop. Then we have demo for demonstrations. But main interesting thing about these abbreviations is that sometimes we use abbreviated forms and we don't even know that these forms are abbreviated. First we abbreviate words and make it shorter, then in course of time we forget the original word. For example, video, very popular word nowadays, but video is not at all, the original word. Videography is the original word. So is photo. So it is photography. Then 80% cinema goers do not know that cinema is a shortened form of cinematography. So this is a very interesting feature of these abbreviations we are talking about. There are many you may come across. Now we come to the main issue, that is whether we should use dot after doctor, after Mr., after saint or not. Simply speaking, Americans always use dot in such cases. They do not use dot here in these cases in acronyms. But especially, this type of words, when the first letter of a word comes and the last letter comes. That means when a word or shortened form of a word is coined with the first letter and the last letter, doctor, Mr., saint. In these cases, Americans put a dot, but the British never do it. They have their own logic, very interesting logic. British scholars say that it is not at all necessary to put a dot there because I do not say DR, I do not say MR, I do not say ST, like pay, like IPL, like say photo. We do not say like this. We pronounce the full word. We always say Mr. We write Emmer, but we say Mr. We write dear, but we utter doctor. We write ST, but we pronounce saint. So what will you do? Very simple answer. If you are a follower of American English, you give a dot. And if you follow British tradition, you do not give it. That ends there. And with this, our discussion also comes to an end. But one point is there. I feel that we'll have another session on acronyms and abbreviations made by netizens. They are very creative people. They are very often, innovative also. They are always busy chatting and talking on the internet. They create several thousands of acronyms and abbreviations. Few examples: LMK, it means let me know. Then to be honest, TBH, to be honest. ASAP, as soon as possible. Oh my goodness, I do not know the future of these acronyms, but they are interesting. Language is always in a flux, always creating something and forgetting something. So we have to see these also. They would never say fine, F-I-N-E, but they would say F9. And here we end our discussion for today.